Thursday night in southern Nevada saw the long-awaited start of the Las Vegas Grand Prix weekend's on-track action, with the first two practice sessions being held late at night under the lights on the brand-new street circuit. However, despite the immense planning and budget that has been dedicated to the event, the first day, which at most Grand Prix is normally plain sailing, turned into a disaster just minutes after FP1 began. The ramifications of the issue were huge and had devastating effects on the crowd, who were expecting to see some stunning laps. It also had a big effect on one of the sport's top drivers, who was disadvantaged due to no fault of his own. Keep watching to find out how a relatively minor track feature caused such chaos. The weekend got off to a shaky start, as the deadline for the track inspection was nearly missed. FIA regulations require any circuit to pass an inspection at least one day before the first session begins, and in this case, that track was not clear until early on Wednesday morning, the day before the first session. This was due to a number of issues, including the need for last-minute finishes and some rain, and made worse due to the nature of the circuit being on a busy road which can only be shut for a few hours at a time. Officials had planned to complete the inspection on Tuesday, when the circuit was closed to traffic between midnight and 6 a.m., but were unable to. In addition, there was a 1-hour delay to the reopening of the roads. Despite these issues, the circuit received the all-clear and everything looked ready on Thursday night. However, officials failed to discover an issue with one of the track's drain covers, which was loose. It has been reported that the laws in Nevada prevented the drains from being welded shut like they are at other F1 street tracks. It has been reported that the strip straight section features 30 water valves, and so if they were not all properly checked, there was always a chance of failure. FP1 got underway on time at 8:30 p.m. on Thursday night, but was halted after just 8 minutes when the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz stopped at the side of the track on the strip. Footage quickly emerged of what had happened to the Spaniard. He had hit one of the drain covers, which had failed and hit the underside of his car, giving the vehicle lots of damage. The damage was so severe that it created a hole in the Ferrari's floor, meaning that the track surface could be seen through the cockpit. On contact, the car seemed to jump, causing sparks to fly around. After hitting it, Sainz's steering wheel said, "Stop the car, engine off." Esteban Ocon of Alpine also made contact with a failed cover, which was a loose cylindrical shape on an in-lap, but his car reacted differently, seemingly taking a harder hit rather than jumping. Ocon's car sustained damage to the front of the floor and the underbody of the chassis. Zhou Guanyu also picked up some damage, having run just behind Sainz when the Ferrari driver made the contact. Shortly after the red flag, it was announced that the session would not continue, meaning that practice was ended after just 20 minutes, only 8 of which were under green flag conditions. This would be damaging at any circuit, but practice is especially key on a new track where nobody had raced before, as well as due to the fact that there is lots of uncertainty around the surface characteristics of the Vegas streets. The FIA released a statement after confirming that the session would not resume, stating that it was the concrete frame around a manhole cover that had failed. They added that they needed to check all of the other manhole covers, which would take some time. Ahead of any further running, every drain had to be checked and altered, and this is what they did, filling many of the holes with quick-drying concrete. In addition, the situation was made even worse by the severity of the damage that Sainz's car sustained. It resulted in Ferrari being forced to change his power unit, which in turn resulted in him receiving a 10-place grid penalty for the Saturday race. The team requested a derogation of the rules, as it was clearly out of their control, but the decision was upheld. Sainz said that he was in disbelief with the situation, and Ferrari team principal Frederic Vasseur called it a big hit. Ocon also required a chassis change, but both he and Carlos were able to take place in FP2, which was delayed by 2.5 hours due to the repair work. To account for the loss of practice time, FP2 was extended to 90 minutes. That seemed fair, but it was terrible for the fans still at the track. The delay meant that the second session of the day ended at 4 a.m., which had a devastating effect on the fans. All spectators were removed from fan areas ahead of FP2, meaning that the first full session of the week took place in front of empty stands. This was due to the fact that the security team's shifts were ending. The fans, many of whom had paid thousands of dollars for tickets, were furious, and it's not yet known if they will receive a refund or a compensation. Most of the fans would have been waiting for hours in the hopes of seeing cars circulating the track again, but they were denied the opportunity. This added to the unexpected drain situation and Sainz's farcical penalty to bring a sour end to a bad day. Similar issues with street circuits have been seen in the past, but never has the fallout been this bad. The first day was disastrous, adding to the negative stories around the race, which resulted in far less demand for tickets and hotels than was initially expected, and has annoyed Vegas locals for months. Thanks for watching, we hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe and comment below to let me know what you think about the Vegas circuit.